Today we're going to dig into a really fascinating project from rural India. It's a story about a simple yet incredibly powerful idea that is totally changing daily life for thousands of people. And it all starts by turning a huge, everyday problem into a source of real wealth and health.
Just think about that for a minute. What if the answer to a major problem like where do you get fuel or how do you deal with waste was literally right there in your own backyard, just waiting to be unlocked? That's the powerful idea at the very core of this whole thing.
And this just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the source, cattle in a family's own backyard. And on the right, the result, a clean, steady cooking flame in the kitchen. This whole explainer is really about the incredible journey between these two pictures.
Okay, so to really get how big of a deal this is, we have to look at what life was like before biogas. And honestly, it was a daily struggle, all centered around one basic need, having fuel to cook a meal.
Wow. I mean, just look at that number. Nearly 85 out of every 100 families in this area were relying on burning wood to cook. And this wasn't a choice, It was what they had to do, and it came with some really, really high costs.
Let that sink in for a second. 374 hours. That's the same as 9 full-time 40-hour work weeks, every single year, just spent on the back-breaking job of finding and hauling firewood. The source material calls it drudgery, and you can absolutely see why. It's a huge burden, and it falls mostly on women and kids.
And the problems just ripple out from there. You've got deforestation, of course, but inside the home, you have constant smoke causing serious health issues. We're talking asthma, lung diseases. And then there's the other side of it, all the animal manure just piling up, which was a huge health risk all on its own. It was this vicious cycle of damaging the environment, getting sick, and endless hard work.
So in the middle of all these challenges, a new idea started to take hold. An idea that looked right at the source of the hygiene problem and saw, not waste, but an absolutely incredible opportunity. See, pretty much every family had animals, so every family had to deal with the dung. The source material says this stuff would just pile up for up to a year, a huge health hazard. So the big question became, what if we could turn this liability into an asset?
And there it is. That's the light bulb moment, a total shift in thinking. The waste wasn't waste at all. It was raw material for clean, free energy. It was a way to solve the hygiene problem and the fuel problem in one single move.
Now, this might sound a little like magic, but it's actually based on a very well-known natural process. So let's quickly break down the simple science that makes this all possible. This is the key piece of tech they used, the Deen Bandhu biogas plant. And the beautiful thing about it is its simplicity. It's basically a sealed dome, mostly buried underground. It's tough, it's reliable, and there's a reason it makes up something like 90% of the biogas plants in India. So what's the secret sauce? It's a process called anaerobic digestion. Sounds fancy, but it's not. It's simply what happens when bacteria break down stuff like manure in a place with no oxygen. And the main thing they produce when they do that is methane, which is, natural gas. Here's how it works day to day. You just mix cow dung and water and pour it into the inlet. Inside that sealed dome, the bacteria go to work. The gas they make fills up the top and then gets piped right into the kitchen for cooking. But, and this is so cool, look at step 5. What comes out the other end isn't waste either. It's a super rich organic fertilizer, even better than the manure they started with. So you get 2 amazing products from one single input. So, we've seen the problem and we've seen the solution. Now for the really good part. What has this actually meant for the people living there? Well, the results have been nothing short of life-changing.
And we're not talking about a small pilot program here. Over 2,000 families have installed these biogas units. That's thousands of people whose daily lives have been fundamentally improved by this one simple change.
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. Socially, women are freed from hours of hard work, and families are breathing clean air. Environmentally, you're saving forests, you're cleaning up the village, and you're cutting greenhouse gases. And economically, that free time can be used to earn money, and the free fertilizer saves a fortune. It's a win-win-win.
This picture shows that health benefit in action, a clean, smoke-free flame. Now, just imagine the difference compared to an open, smoky fire in a small kitchen. The source material talks about a massive drop in things like respiratory infections and bronchitis. This isn't just about convenience. This is literally saving lives.
I mean, this contrast says everything, doesn't it? Before you had brutal labor, dangerous smoke, deforestation, and disease risk, After, you have fuel on tap, clean air, a better climate, and free fertilizer. Every single negative has been flipped into a positive. It's just incredible.
And what's really amazing is that this isn't just a great local story. This one project directly helps achieve 7 of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. It's hitting targets for things like no poverty, good health, clean energy, and climate action. It's a perfect example of local action having real global significance.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a minute. Why does a project in a few villages in India matter to the rest of the world? Well, because the problem it's solving is a global one.
Check out that number. Almost 17,000 tons of CO2 equivalent are kept out of the atmosphere every single year because of this. And that comes from 2 things: not burning wood anymore and capturing the methane from the manure that would have just escaped into the air otherwise.
And this chart? Wow. This puts the scale of that problem into stunning perspective. Globally, the greenhouse gas emissions from cattle alone are on par with the entire output of major industrial countries like the United States. This proves that managing livestock manure isn't some small niche issue. It's one of the biggest tools we have in the fight against climate change.
You know, the Vengurla project really proves that sometimes the most powerful solutions are the simple, local ones. The ones based on just looking at a problem a little differently. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What waste do we have in our own communities that's actually a hidden resource, just waiting for us to figure it out?